So, dann möchte ich gerne den ersten Talk ankündigen. Und zwar leite ich weiter an Fra. Fra und ich kennen uns noch nicht ganz ein Jahr. Wir sind aus verschiedenen Netzwerken quasi miteinander verbunden worden. Und Fra ist unsere Inspiration für das Motto Ja, aber heute. Und dann natürlich eben die Hälfte der heutige Twitter-Hashtag heißt 20 by 20 Agile. Richtig? Korrigiert mich, liebe Kollegen und Kolleginnen.
Richtig.
Genau. Das habe ich gerade im Chat gesehen. So, das irritiert mich, ich muss es wegmachen. Also, Fra hat mich inspiriert und hat uns inspiriert für das heutige Motto. Yes, but oder ja, aber. Und was ich sagen wollte, ist, dass natürlich die Talks, die auf Englisch vorbereitet sind, jetzt auch auf Englisch gehalten werden. Weil solche Talks zu halten, so im Pacha-Pucha-Format, die Vorbereitung dauert zum Teil noch länger als für einen 1- oder 2-stündigen Talk, habe ich mir sagen lassen. Ich weigere mich ja erfolgreich im 7. Jahr, so ein Talkformat selber zu halten. Ich organisiere und moderiere das nur. Das ist ein großes Privileg, was ich gerne weitertrage. Von daher freue ich mich sehr auf den Talk von Fra und auf den Rahmen für uns alle für das heutige Motto. Fra, bist du bereit?
Ich bin bereit, ja.
Dann it's your stage.
Thank you. I will share my screen with you. Okay. So, hi from my side. My name is Dr. Fra Mega, and I will be using the next minutes to show you why I think yes, but is an objection, which can be seen as invitation to becoming radically human. What that means, I hope you will find out by the end of this talk. So, how many times have you heard objections like, we would like to change, but nah? I've certainly come across this kind of objection often in my projects, especially before the Corona crisis, but I still hear people saying this often enough, even now. Yes, but examples of this yes, but are things like, yes, but our company culture is just too old school for this agile stuff. Or yes, but I will never get buy-in for this from my boss. Or yes, but people will be lazy or less productive or less engaged if we allow them to work remotely. Does that sound familiar? Hitting these mental roadblocks can feel frustrating and unproductive, especially when you've embraced an agile mindset of doing, failing, adapting, and trying again. So what can we do about it? I think understanding the mechanisms behind these objections is really helpful. So let's take a closer look. Yes, but is really an expression of uncertainty, of doubt, and of fear. It's a defense strategy indicating that there is a sense of needing to defend oneself or of needing to defend the status quo. What you see here is the amygdala, which is the brain's fear center. When you sense something that is potentially threatening, the amygdala tells other parts of your brain to be on high alert, and it inhibits other brain areas that are necessary for social interaction and for empathy. So what do we do with the defensive person whose amygdala is activated? Well, feelings don't go away by pushing them away. And responding to an anxiety or fear response, a person feeling fear and anxiety with anger or frustration, which are also feelings of high arousal, is not a great strategy. Executive functioning doesn't work well in these states, and so it's hard to be convinced by logical arguments. Often, the exact opposite strategy is all that's needed. So what does that look like? Well, first off, listening, giving the uncertainties, doubts, and beliefs space to be heard. Even if we think or know them to be wrong, suspending one's judgment for a moment to just simply listen. Allowing these judgments to just be there without judging them, without fixing, but of course also keeping in mind that arguments which are born from defensiveness are often not the most helpful decision formats. So we don't stay here. Instead, we switch mental gears or invite the people that we're working with to switch mental gears. We activate curiosity in order to shift from judgment, or the judger path, to a learner path. So how does one switch mental gears? For example, by asking active questions or rephrasing objections into questions, just like the innovation design method of using "how might we?" So, yes, but our company culture is just too old school becomes, could you describe your culture in more detail? Or, how might we support a cultural shift along with adopting agile practices? Shifting towards curiosity allows us to step from the judger path to the learner path, switching from shaming, blaming, and judging to asking open, interested, and active questions that are focused on learning about the situation. Another way to shift gears is by introducing playfulness, such as the improv strategy of turning a yes but into a yes and. For example, yes, but people will be less engaged when working remotely. Well, yes, and let's take some time to think about how to support our people to be engaged while working from home. Many of us face the same or similar types of yes buts in our work, similar barriers to the change we know would be necessary. Collecting and co-creating strategies and methods that work in response to these objections is a great way of collectively moving towards better being able to respond to change. The key takeaway here is that doubt is human, uncertainty is human, questioning things is human. Learning how to skillfully navigate this humanness is the radical and necessary component in our digital and currently hyper uncertain age. My teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, has the saying, the way out is in. In order to effect real and lasting change, we begin by going inside, understanding ourselves and the inner space we and the people we work with are operating from. That is why my focus is on supporting people to inspire and enable this journey of inner transformation. My vision is that we take this opportunity of the digital age to become radically human, recognizing that we are all embodied beings with emotions and aspirations and histories and backgrounds, that the convergence of these complexities are what make us unique and simultaneously connect us all in the shared lived experience of being human. Learning to respond ourselves and each other in skillful and compassionate ways in order to tackle some of the most pressing issues of our time, leaning on curiosity, courage, and compassion. So I'd like to close with one of my favorite quotes by Mark Nepo. To listen is to lean in softly with a willingness to be changed by what we hear. So I invite you to take the time to really listen. And who knows, you just might be changed by what you hear or create change simply by listening. I wish you happy listening to the rest of our wonderful speakers, and I thank you for listening to me.
Vielen Dank, Fra, für den Auftakt und den Impuls. Wir haben